Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
It's all these classic rock guys too. They're always like, we're retiring, like the Rolling Stones and Elton John. And it's been like their third retirement tour or something.
They take 3 years off and they're like, I miss it.
Yeah, it's part of who they are.
Yeah, it's a calling. I mean, most artists, anyone that works in this business, it's a calling. I've said that before about doing this. For me, I'm not as talented as the people I work with, but doing this was something I had to do. So I get it. But man, the shirt. Can we talk about the shirt?
What is on your shirt?
Oh, not my shirt.
Not your shirt.
But yeah, we can talk about mine. I get a little snags. My wife be making these, man. So y'all go out on.
She used that shiny stuff this time.
Yeah. Some little celebration, little lettering, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the headliner Thursday.
Tyrone bursted.
Shout out to Tyrone, man. He was hilarious, and boy was he a good sport, because y'all just gave it to him on that shirt. Like,
what did his shirt say?
It was a nice shirt.
It was a nice shirt.
It really was a nice shirt.
Wait a minute, hold on. I got to see the pictures from Thursday. Hold on.
It was a nice shirt.
I gotta figure this out.
Well, this is the thing. As comics, we find something to roast each other about. It really doesn't matter what it is. But if we lock sights on it, it's pretty much the target.
Yeah, I hate that I wasn't here in the green room for that earlier. Because it's almost like you told him one thing, you told everybody else something different.
No, man, Tyrone has probably been the most outspoken of the group that came. I can't say that. We all have our own.
Y'all were giving him hell, man.
Different styles. So I just saw him when he was in the green room, and I'm like, everybody was dressed kind of down. I was like, wait a minute. He came in.
Is he the one that switched out to the Rooster shirt?
Yeah.
Dang, I can't see his shirt.
What was it wearing? What was it, like just a fancy loud shirt?
It's white and black, but it had like some, what would you call that?
It had flowers up the sleeve. It was like one of the little Latin shirts that come with the boots.
Like the pointy toe boots?
But not the boots.
He didn't have the boots. He had on sparkly black shoes.
Oh, okay. The sparkly black shoes are fine.
He came dressed to the nines.
Oh,
and
okay.
everything.
I got
He was looking good, but he was the only one.
Yeah,
that was just like
the story of my life.
Everybody else was in jeans and t-shirts except for him.
And they were giving him all kinds of shit about it on the stage and backstage, but then he gets on stage and he just owned it. And he did 10 minutes on the shirt.
Oh wow!
Probably.
And at one point, I went back to the office and grabbed a Rooster shirt, and I started waving it at him. And he's like, look, Michael got a Rooster shirt for me. He's like, give me that. So he put it on stage. It was a good time, man. I mean, and it didn't feel like it didn't feel still. Like it felt like a fun comedy hang. Like the thing, this place isn't a comedy club. Like that's not what we do. But we do this. We try to turn it into one once a month. Which is why Ray Money's here, ladies and gentlemen, comedian Ray Money on the couch. And every month, somebody always makes a joke about the venue, because that's what you do. You're a comedian. They're not used to playing rooms like this. And it was like for the first time since we started this, it actually felt like a comedy club in here. Like everyone was just having a good time, laughing. And the shirt helped.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, the shirt
sounds like it
helped. But it was a good hang, and these guys are celebrating 10 years of comedy together. You want to talk for a minute about starting out with Tyrone and Coco and Deacon Dean? Like how you guys all met?
Oh, man, this is let me see, a lot of drunken nights, at least for me. They talk. So, yeah, man, look, we all started, I guess the main plus was a spot in Charlotte, Club Vibrations. That was probably Coco used to run a Thursday night comedy jam at Club Vibrations, and it was off of Sharon Amity Road. I think it's called something. It maybe it's Vibration now or some other name now. It's still
Okay,
standing,
up
but
on Sharon Amity, which that's kind of off Independence, kind
Off
of
Independence,
in the heart of Charlotte.
yeah, in the heart of Charlotte,
Yeah.
man. It was. Yeah, it was right there, and we used to come out, and it was just like any other like Thursday shows, but we were all new, so we'd end up meeting over there, and we'd roast and spend hours, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, just talking trash to each other. You know,
Now that was on a Thursday night. 10 years ago, was Thursday night as hard as it is now to get people to come out.
it definitely
Was it just the comics
just
hanging out,
Thursday?
right?
just coming, man. And we were all new then too, so it was more than just that. There was other comics, of course, that had been in a longer or shorter time, but it was just our group that kind of gravitated to each other because we all started on the same time. We were going to the open mics trying to figure it out. And, I mean, that's pretty much what it was. Every open mic, we all grind. Like, we would drive hours and hours and hours and hours to open mics.
So you weren't just
Wow.
staying in Charlotte; you were hitting like anywhere you could.
So my first year, and I probably was a lunatic. I did probably it was close to 300 stages,
Oh wow!
and it may have been even more than that. It may have been about 4. Down to the point I camp out in the car. I bought a blow up air mattress so I can sleep in the car so I can get some stage time. Man, it was a
And none of you were getting paid at the time because open mics, that's not paid gigs.
no, like you get like maybe wings and stuff here and there. So it was and you kind of hear about it. You listening, you listen to the podcast. You know any interviews with other comics that you can. All right, this is what I should expect.
Anything you can do to get in front of people and be funny.
That was the goal because at the time it was like okay, when you're young in the game, you realize that when you're younger in the game, you feel like this is gonna be the moment. You really like you 30 days in, like yeah man, I'm finna get this
Well,
thing.
I can imagine like maybe you try it a few weeks, it doesn't go well, then you get up there, and then all of a sudden 1 week it goes really well. You got a whole room laughing, and it's got to be like that endorphin rush, that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Like this is it. I'm gonna be a professional comedian. And then the next night you go up and you bomb.
See, I don't even think of myself as that now. I mean, just because I'm around guys that have been in the game much longer than I have, I think that's
That
one.
keep you humble.
Yeah, they keep you humble and they keep you inspired. It keep you seeing the different at the level now. I could see the different variations of where comics are in their career, and I've seen how people feel about where they are in their career. I could see the people that like you. Coco saying she was wanting to retire, but you can see how talented and how great
So funny.
she was. Hilarious.
Yeah.
But to see people in their spirits in the game, you take something from some of the guys like D.S. Sanders, been in the game quite a while, just got his first Netflix.
Shout out.
Yeah, man. So he's with some more has produced it. It's on Netflix right now. Fantastic. But he's actually come here.
Yeah.
Come here, but to see the.
Did you hear that? A Netflix special's out there with a started comedian that's been on our stage, and you're missing out.
Yeah, man. Look, a lot of these guys and ladies that will come through, will come through. They're gonna have a lot of credits because a lot of us have been out here doing a long time, and we're all trying to find our audience. That's pretty much what it is, and I think that's for me when I look at other comics and I see how they are in their career. I'm like, don't. We kind of get into a point where people get competing, like, I'm funnier than him here. I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's like music. Everybody...
Different genres.
It's different genres. And you see, like, like you see comics that are more standstill and some that jump all over stuff. Like, it's two very different audiences of people.
Yeah. Some dudes are storytellers, don't really tell jokes, and some guys just do one-liners, and there's... for someone like me, I love it because I like all different types of comedy. But there are certain people that they only like a certain type of comedy. So, like you said, finding your audience that can be a grueling process.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you see, it's inspiring because I've seen so many around me that have blown up, from Christian Johnson, Ryan Davis, which is actually a part of established 2013 group at point. He took off, and you see Brandon Rainwater, all these guys that have hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of followers of people, and you see their audience inspiring. Like you can never stop because you'll see that and you're like, oh,
possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And so you keep driving to that, and you see others go at different times, but you ultimately know the longer you're in it, and you see some of the other guys, like I said, DS and some of the others that are getting further and further in their career. Like, yeah, I didn't realize I'd be here talking to y'all right now. Like that
makes me think of two different things. Number one is the inspiration side of that.
Yeah.
Is I get that same feeling when we have a packed house. Like I'll get frustrated at times when we're not getting the crowds I think we should have, and then we'll have that one show where this place is packed, everyone's having a blast, people are grateful, and like that inspires you. It's like this is possible. And I don't want to replicate that every night. Like if we can do this every night, we're gonna be great. Yeah, so I understand that completely.
See, like you say, that in itself. So all the rooms as comedians, we do varying types of rooms. All of us do different types of shows, and they're in different spaces, and they're set up differently. If you're blessed enough to do some of the comedy clubs and some of the theaters, you're gonna get the nice stuff. But people are having great times in different venues all across the country. I can't tell you the many cities I can't remember the name of. They have, like most people, they would say Gastonia now. Like they'll say when you say Charlotte, if you go out of town, like, oh, you say outside of, but Gastonia will have a name of its own, just like these other cities, and they have people that live in these cities. They want the same experience of laughter that we go to in the big cities. It's just
that's a great point to make. This right now in our 2023, the world needs laughter.
Yeah.
We always need it, right? Like it's not just specific to this time, but times are tough right now for a lot of people. At least in our community, I see it, in people's faces and their eyes when they speak, and the type of things that people are saying. People are desperate for things to get better in their life, and it's like this is one way to like deal with that, or at the very least you can escape from it. Yeah. You can escape from the day-to-day hustle bustle by coming somewhere and just getting in and laughing. Like I'd imagine if more people would invest time into things that are invest more time in levity, let's just put it that way, and just not take everything so seriously, it does make things a lot easier to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Some stuff you just gotta laugh at. That's just really what it is.
I think places like this, places like the Rooster in general, are like a lot of people will jump to social media to escape, or they'll jump to video games or just whatever to escape. And there's places like the Rooster here where there's comedy and there's music and there's things like that. Like you can escape with other people.
That's exactly right. That experience is much more rich. It's much deeper, and it lasts longer. The endorphin rush you get.
It's a real experience.
Yeah. The endorphin rush you get from a social media interaction pales in comparison to a real visceral, real life experience where you're sharing something with somebody.
Because that's going to create a memory, and scrolling through social media is not. Yeah.
Now, talk to me a little bit about how you're using social media because for those who've been following know who you are, and they know that
they don't know me.
Well, people that are following us,
if they did,
maybe some of the newer people.
Well, we talked about this before. You dove head in this year. You quit your corporate job and decided to go head in or 100% all in with comedy. So now that you are doing this 100% full time, how much are you seeing of a return from social media?
Right now, nothing that I can see. Nothing I can see.
As much as you push stuff out, nothing?
I can't say that. I mean, I think
I've never seen somebody push so much stuff.
The reason I push, there has to be awareness, but people, I think for me, as you can see, my wife and their family, they are generally with me most of the time. And it isn't until people meet us in person, for the most part, that people want, I'll be at the doctor's office or the YMCA, or some of this, and we laughing and just talking, and then people come to shows there, and I haven't really seen the impact of social media has just yet. I think I got my first experience this past weekend. Well, not this past weekend, but the 22nd weekend. There was someone I was performing at the Comedy Zone in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it was a couple. Actually, it's probably about 4 people, older white couple, and I didn't see the other 2. She's like my daughter and son-in-law over there. They said they came from Rhode Island to see me.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
And I was like,
Okay.
yeah, that was it shocked me because I'm like, where is that? Like from, not like, I'm like
North. That's all.
I mean, not like that. I mean, like where's it in proximity to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania? I'm like, it's like 3 hours away. I'm like, 3 hours away. I'm like, how y'all? She's like, y'all came here for me.
Either you're really funny or Rhode Island really fucking sucks.
Hey man, it was interesting because I'm like, how in relation to where I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, I'm like, that's not close. And I'm like, how did you? Yeah, we saw you online. We came.
Okay.
I was like, oh.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
That was. It shocked me more so because I ain't put stuff online, and you may see.
Right.
You don't see the in person. I mean, people comment and stuff online, but it isn't until you feel it in person or someone like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The things you put on social media has to be an instant grabber. Like long things on social media don't do great. That's why TikTok's a minute long or 3 minutes long. Because it's.
Yeah, there's little snips.
If you got to make somebody laugh, you got to make them laugh fast.
You got TikTok, right?
Do I have TikTok?
Yeah.
I do have TikTok. I haven't. I'm just now. I'm getting someone to help me with my social media because I just don't have the time.
I feel that.
So, I mean, it's and
because if you dig too far into that, it's taken away from your ability to create.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
So, even down to. Like, even with the cameras here, I'd be like, wait, am I supposed to be saying it like this? Or lean into the camera? All the times I've been on camera, they ain't been good. And all the experiences haven't been good. State your name.
Oh, Jesus.
I just play. But no, it's been... seeing how impactful it is for my peers is showing me how important more of the importance. Because at one point I thought it was just the in person, talk to people. Because I don't mind going places. I don't mind performing in random places. I don't mind.
Well, clearly, I mean, we've been at this for 10 months or 9 months, trying to build up like a comedy scene here in Gastonia, and it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Like I thought, hey, we're doing stand-up comedy with professional comedians. Who's not going to come to that? And boy, let me tell you.
Hey man, look.
It's hard. I don't. We say this all the time. Like I don't understand why more people aren't coming to stuff like this. And I don't know. Maybe it's the town we're in. Maybe it's the night we're doing it. I don't know. But you would think more people would want to laugh.
Yeah, so we've had some people that are returning.
That's encouraging.
So last week there were a lot of returning people that have come to shows.
Like we'll see them pop up at one show and then they'll come back maybe a couple months later. Last week was the first time I saw multiple people that had been at shows before. Like it was almost like, oh, they're all here now. Yeah.
So that's my idea. I think once people come, they see how much of an enjoyable time we have here. I mean, we've done a lot of shows here at this point. We're deep into shows, and as you can see, the last show, we have people they're returning people. And I was kind of like, wait, y'all just not telling everybody. Y'all just keep coming back and not saying nothing.
Keeping it secret. Yeah.
Keeping it a secret. Y'all got to tell.
Bring your friend with you.
Bring your friend, and I understand. I hope and I'm grateful when they come back every month. But I'm not.
It does make you work. It does make you have to work a little harder too.
It makes me have to work a lot harder.
Yeah, because when you're
you can't tell the same stuff,
you can't
right?
tell them same jokes.
Can't, man. So you get new material every. I'll throw one or two in here. Maybe I'm working on, but that may have been done before, but it's all new material every month, and sometimes it's good, but which is part of the
Well, it's
reason
been
for
fun
social
for
media.
me to watch you carve out bits because, like, you like you'll have these premises and you'll approach it in a different way each month, and it's fun for me. It's fun to kind of watch that unfold. It's like I'm watching you work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're figuring out what works and what doesn't, and that's probably the most fun part for me.
So that in itself, with having a returning audience, it's probably the most difficult thing for me because I feel like I'm shortening them sometimes. But that's the reason I book amazing
Well, you can
talent
tell
with me.
you can tell when Ray is like kind of running out of ideas with a premise. He'll speed up the process and get the next comic out. He can watch.
Hey, man.
I'll see it. He's got a look. He's got a look. I can see it in his eyes. Where he's like, I'm moving
now
on.
I gotta change my look.
Hey, man, I pay attention, man. But I love it. Like I do. I love watching people create and be funny. And every single comedian you brought here has been hilarious. And that's that's the part of it that that I want people to understand. It's like, look, this isn't just your uncle.
No, man, this
getting in
is-
front of people telling jokes. These are Now we did have one guy get up that bombed. And you had to go get him off stage. I'm not going to put him out there like that. I'm not
Well,
going to
he's not he's a newer comic. This is the thing. I'm just like the comics like Coco that have come. She put me on my first time to headline and feature and some of these other spots, and people have taken chances on me. So I think I'm always going to be someone that's going to take chances on people because people have taken a chance on
It's
me.
the only way to grow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm like
Well, that's also how you build community. I mean, that's what we're doing here. I never, when I first opened, I had no idea how so many of the bands that have played, I'd never heard of them before we did this. I had a handful of people that I knew, and it's been, again, we've even watched bands grow.
Yeah.
That have played here multiple times. It's all comes back to the building community, and that's that's kind of what you can do as a comedian. You know how many stars have to align for someone to like be famous? Like Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, that doesn't happen without people taking chances on them.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody gave those people opportunities to get there. And, if you're living if you stay in Gastonia, North Carolina your whole life, those opportunities will never present themselves. But by going out there and
Wait, you got a difference in opinion on that?
Yeah, I do, man.
Okay.
I think I really do. I think that's the thing because I know where I'm from and I know where some of the other people, but I think it's not the place anymore. It's the mindset of the people.
that's part of it. That's a big part of it. But, just having the will and having the right drive and all that, that's not going to be enough to get you to, a level of success where you don't have to worry no more.
Yeah, because you got
saying?
to be known a little bit everywhere.
Yeah, like if you,
So
Gastonia famous isn't going to get you.
yeah, Gastonia famous ain't going to buy the mansion.
oh well, no. So let me just say.
I can attest.
I'm not saying that. I think about it differently because like these cameras that we have here now, the same way that people watch different shit. I think that's what it is. And someone that has the ability to help promote, and that's really what we're all doing. And all this, you find promoters in pretty much every city that are quality promoters. You could become popular in any city.
Yeah.
For the most part, if you have a good product or a talent, whatever it may be. So I think the partnerships, whether you stay, it doesn't really matter where you stay, but if you align yourself with the right people, that you can build from wherever you are. I think
that's the point that I was getting at.
Okay.
Before I went on that tangent was, build up a community, build up a fan base, and you can take it on the road, and you can have like these spots. You can have a full career and make a living doing art, whether it's comedy
awesome.
or music, and never be famous.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest, that's the preferable thing.
Yeah.
Like not everyone's cut out for fame.
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I think that's probably why as much on social media. I'm cool with people. I don't like everybody. Let me just be clear.
I don't like most people. I don't like most people.
That's probably about right. But
Half of them are in this room. So,
people don't know boundaries, and so that's pretty much. I'm cool with people as long as they know boundaries. When people start over, and I think that's when you get into fame, that line gets
Blurry.
That draws out those type of people.
Yeah, so I think that's what I think a little bit of the social media words, but I know that it's
a fine line.
a fine line.
It's a really fine line.
I can meet people and I'd be like, yeah, okay, we can be cool, or we can be cool to this extent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you put
Boundaries.
Right.
I'm good.
Boundaries are a thing you got to learn, especially when you're getting like noticed. You know,
Man,
you have to know how to set firm and healthy boundaries.
When you say that, this is as you can see, I'm always merched up. I've got merch on. It's everywhere I go.
He's a walking billboard.
I am, man. I was like, because until I get at least the traction, at least I feel like I need to be able to move along. I'm like, I got to be marketing 24/7. I think I said this before. It's also for tax purposes too. So y'all can't say every mile I drive, I can record a document. I'm going to market.
If you have lunch and you talk about Ray Money, then you can write it off.
I'm right here. Somebody gonna say, "Is that you on the shirt?"
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it turns into something. Sometimes it just turns into a conversation. But I had one experience where I had someone pop up at my mother-in-law's house and I mean it was weird because they went on my social media and they saw. Some people say, "Oh man, you work with a few people," and they feel like they just came over to introduce themselves. I'm like,
like a complete stranger.
yeah, it's a stranger, man. And
That's
they sent me a
wild.
message first, and it wasn't even. I've had people send me a message on social media all the time. But that was the first experience where someone just came over, and it just happened to be a good experience. It wasn't nothing crazy, but it shook me a little bit. Like, oh shit, because I know how I am. Look, I ain't always nice, Ray. Let me just be clear.
I know what you mean, man. I've had people come into the bar and
hey, look.
I've had people come into the bar and make me a little uncomfortable. You know?
Yeah.
Like
I didn't even talk, but man.
I don't want to.
But
No,
that is
like that. I've caught myself doing that. Like on nights that I work and I'm on stage and come back and forth. I'm all like, "Hey, yeah," and then when I'm not, somebody says something off color. I'm like, "What?" And like really mean. I'm like, "Oh shit, I should." And I'm like, I'm not in that.
I've had a couple artists come to me and be like, I've given. I'll preface by saying this. I've given Ariel carte blanche back here. This green room is her space, and she runs this green room. And I've had a couple artists be like, "I think Ariel's mad at me," or "I think she's got mad at me." But usually by the end of the night, they're all like, "Oh, it's good. She's just doing her job." Like they don't know. Like they don't like. I guess we got to put a sign up like Ariel's the boss back here.
So I've said my experience back here is much different than the band's are. You know, we just sitting down here in the back.
You bring yourself. They bring a whole bunch of stuff with them, and
it gets real crowded back here.
It gets real crowded, and they don't listen.
Unorganized.
It's like children sometimes, you know.
I guess they got the drum equipment and all that.
Drums,
a lot of
amps,
gear
everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
But I mean, usually, almost always, like they'll be like, "Well, I thought she was mad at me, but then I realized that she was just, doing her job." Like, yeah.
Well, that's why I usually try to crack some smart ass jokes, and you just go roll in it, and they're like, I'm a big smart ass. So my husband says, "Can you not say anything sarcastic?" No, I can't. But yeah, I'm just like, okay, I had to throw that sarcasm in so they realize, okay, we're good.
That's why we get along so well. It's because sarcasm is my love language.
Right?
So
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like I don't ever want this place to feel stuffy, right?
Yeah.
I get I want this to always be fun for everybody, but at the same time we have to be professional.
Yeah.
We have a job to do. We have work to do.
That's you say professional. That's different from depending on the person. So I think that's the problem. You may have to.
Well, that's part of being professional, right? Being reliable, being dependable.
Yeah.
You show up, you do the job. I've had people cancel on me the day before their show. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yes.
And
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's happened more than once. Yeah, and it's like a couple of times it's happened, and there's been like a legitimate reason why. But there's more often than not when that happens, it's because. Well, I know for a fact there's one person that canceled their show because we didn't sell any tickets. and they ended up taking a gig at another spot that paid them
yeah.
a guarantee.
Yeah.
See, she knows who I'm
I
talking
know who you're
about.
talking about.
That person will never play this stage again.
Never ever.
Because that's fucked up. You didn't do a good enough job promoting your show to get people out here, and so now you're going to make me pay for that. You're going to make me look bad because you didn't hold up your end of the bargain.
Man, you got to do your shows, man. 2 people, 1 person.
You're making a bad name for yourself. You're burning bridges.
Yeah.
Like there's just it's.
And look, it sucks for me too when there's 6 people here. Like make no mistake, it burns me to no end when there's only 6 people here for a show, whether it's music, comedy, whatever. Even sometimes we've done free shows where nobody shows up, and it's frustrating. But that's part of this process of building what we're building. There's going to be nights like that.
It hasn't even been a year.
Yeah.
It takes, what's the average, like 3 years before a business really starts to take off and make money and do the things.
I've heard 2 years, 3 years. I've heard at least in the bar business, if you make it 2 years, usually you're going to be good. There's just so much shit to pay for those first.
I think I kind of try now in this sense. I'm thinking about modeling the business aspect of it, kind of like Walmart. They got to be open. You got to be open.
Yeah.
That means every show got to go on. Which they gonna close the doors early sometimes. Sometimes they gonna lock them doors a little early.
They said fuck yourself.
Right when you come into the door, they gonna lock the door, but they gonna be there mostly every day, so you're available. And I think the consistency of not canceling shows, to know that they're gonna be there to bring your family, touching base with the community and having people come back. I think that's the more the community, I know for me, going out and into meeting people and being a part of the community, and whether that's in the bank or at the grocery store, I'm merched up so that I can meet the people in the community. And
one of your better talents is that ability to just connect with people. I've watched you work. I've watched you, when we do shows here, and the way you talk to people after the show, before the show. Yeah. Like you have a likability about you where it seems like anybody.
You think so?
To be honest with you, it's your smile.
Oh man, look
it
at that.
really is. Your
Them
smile.
braces work.
Your smile. Yeah, right. That expensive shit works. But no, that smile. You're just. It makes it's like, hey.
I've just seen you connect with so many different types of people here. Early on, one of the first shows we did, we had that older Hispanic couple. Yeah. Remember them? I mean, they closed the bar down with you. Like, they just kept buying drinks.
Dang, right?
They didn't tip the shit. But I didn't forget that. But but every month we do these shows, and every month you never know who's going to show up, and you just have this ability to connect with people, and like I said, this month was the first time we saw several different repeat customers at one time, and that felt good, and it did finally start to feel like we're building this up, like it's finally happening.
My teeth again. It's smiling.
It is. It's very inviting, because as soon as you come off the stage, I've watched you. Your face lights up. People want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And your whole face lights up, and that just is a beacon for
the positivity.
Welcome. Yeah.
It's the positivity that you bring. Because even when I've been here, I think I've been here for 2 or 3 of the things. Yeah. You if there's 5 people here, if there's 20 people here, we all have a good time.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a good time, man. Look.
And you can also the ability to change as you go too. So if it's if there's 1 or 2 people here, do some stuff that you're not, you're working on. That you don't really, you can bomb a little bit.
I think that's what getting in the comfort zone of doing it. You get to doing it where sometimes you always want to make sure that the people in smaller crowds, you make sure they have a good show, so they come back.
Yeah.
So it is a balance between making sure. It's
funny with the smaller shows. It's hard to do crowd work because
God, yes.
Especially, I don't know if this is just a Gastonia thing. You answer this question. Okay. Is it a Gastonia people thing, or is it like this everywhere when people don't want to interact? Like you'll be like, yo, what's your name? And people will just sit there and.
Oh no, that's everywhere, man.
That is everywhere.
To be honest, I love comedy, but I'm still going. Don't fucking pick on me. Don't fucking pick on me.
Well, I think that's part of it. People are afraid of getting picked on, but like the interaction's always funny. Like if you just go along.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've watched Ray do crowd work with an unwilling participant, and he walks that fine line of not getting them too upset.
Right.
You know, it's
The last time I was here, it's that lady that she kept on her phone the whole time. And, like, I think every comedian touched on it that night.
So I think that's where it gets fun for me.
he said, "You have somewhere else to be."
Yeah, right.
When I walk the line, that's when it's fun for me. 'Cause after you do it for a while, I get understanding about laughter, because the reason I'm able to connect, I now realize I've lived in so many different type of environments, and from being in the hood, living in the projects, to living in an RV around older white people, to a regular house, owning a home, growing up in a neighborhood. Like those experiences, I've been able to connect with people on different levels.
Yeah.
So you say it's a smile. I think it's just the relatability of some of the experiences that they've had to go through.
No, your smile is your hot and fresh sign.
That is it?
That's it.
It's hot and fresh?
It's that hot and fresh Krispy Kreme sign.
Be Ray Money and then just.
I got to turn them up.
I'm saying that's a new T-shirt right there. Get your smile underneath
What's
the
your last name? I can't remember.
Tara.
Tara, that's your new logo you need to work on.
That's it. Hot and fresh sign.
I mean, hey, let's shout out to her, because she's one of the hardest working women in the
Dude,
business.
she is.
Uh-huh.
They were talking last week at the show. After the show, they were talking about trying to get Tara up there.
Hey, man, I've been trying to get up there for a while, man. This is, I think she is leaning toward it the more she sees me, and I pull her into it. Because for a while,
She's
wasn't
getting the itch.
I don't think she's getting the itch, but I think the inspiration in itself.
She has the most infectious laugh
She
I've ever heard in my
does.
life.
She so does.
I mean,
That's got to be what made you fall in love with her.
Yeah, it is.
Her laugh. Her laugh is just so genuine.
Between that and her jab, we good. hey, like, I mean, that's the thing. It keeps me having the ability to laugh, because I'm not happy all the time. So to have someone that's funny and makes me laugh helps me to continue doing this, as well as this is what I mean. She's on the road with me a lot of times. So,
Yeah.
And then also helping her to understand the business more. So she now is helping to build the business. So it's a family thing, man. So
It's a family business.
Yeah, man, it's a family business.
Comedy is a family business.
It is. I don't think it's just entertainment. It's the getaway.
Yeah.
The getaway.
Well, I was just about to say, being surrounded by people with that kind of mindset, like, it makes it so much easier to like deal with life's, ups and downs. You just said, I'm not happy all the time.
Yeah.
Me either. And I'm always like, when I find myself in a bad situation, I try to find the funny. Like, I try to find a way to make this funny, because it's so much easier to deal with something when you can find like the ridiculousness of it all. Like, there's a lot of heavy situations in life that aren't funny, but when you find a way to make them funny, it's almost like helps with the healing process of grief. It helps getting past things that, if you can find a way to laugh at what makes you angry, like, that's such a much better way to deal with things than being angry. Like, being angry is not fun at all.
If I start laughing on my anger, I'm really mad. I'm really mad.
If you're angry at somebody else, and it pisses them off even more that you're having a good time with
When I
it.
start laughing, I'm angry. That's beyond angry.
Oh man,
That's like borderline Hulk smash.
you finna go there, huh?
Yeah.
I got you.
I'll do that to my kid every now and then when she gets mad and upset. I'll make fun of her. It really pisses her off.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm like, you can't see why this is funny. Like,
To you, it's funny, but to her, that's like fuel. That's like teenage rage, man. That's dangerous territory, Michael.
Ray don't know yet. His kids are still young. He'll know.
No, man. I got a 13 and 14-year-old, man.
Oh, yeah, he said that right. He said that.
Yeah,
age.
okay,
And the 3-year-old,
you're right
so-
there.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
how I haven't seen your kids come to a show yet.
No, they've been to shows before.
Here, they haven't been here.
No. I just haven't.
So where are they at? Like, are they into comedy at all, or?
My oldest son, which he lives in Alabama, he's 13. He's been on stage before. He's tried it. He's
Okay,
cool.
rock
been on
on.
stage a few times. You know, he teeters in it. He wants to be funny and he sees it, but he doesn't really know what it is yet. He just and kind of like me when I was around his age, I didn't know what comedy was, but I saw it. I saw it on TV, and I see, and it's great now. I get a chance to meet some of these people and I see them, but I didn't know what it was. I just it's people telling jokes. I didn't know that there was a business and all this other stuff behind it.
Well, I mean,
But
just the comedy itself, like
That's what I
figuring
mean,
out
so-
how to make something funny that, because that's what a premise is, right?
all of my kids try that now. They want to make something funny.
You
I
taught
love
them
when they
right.
make something- how to make something funny.
You
It's
taught them
stupid.
right.
it's not just teaching them. It's a part of our family. So my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they're hilarious. I mean, my sister's hilarious. My dad's hilarious. My mom's hilarious. All these people are hilarious. I'm just cousins. I'm just the only one that's pursuing it like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and understanding, while pursuing it like this, you understand the differences of just being funny around the people you know.
You got to have like the most fun holiday get-togethers.
Dude, that sounds like my
'Cause my family-
face would be hurting.
Yeah, my family isn't funny like that. Right? Yeah, we get together. It's like my wife and I start setting an over under on how many minutes it's going to take someone after the Thanksgiving meal to start talking politics. You know, like, it's like a trained. I don't want to say trained. It's like a learned behavior. It's like, okay, we had a big nice dinner. Everyone had a good time. Now let's make everyone uncomfortable.
Right.
But it would be so much more fun to just sit around and crack jokes all afternoon,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is I mean, I think that's really most people's family. I think the only difference is people that decide to chart it as a career versus, because there's a million funny people. Just like there are a million comics. there's a comic, or at least someone starting out every day. There's a brand new person that has that inspiration and drive, and then some people may be really good at it for the first 6 months, and they be like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to do this." But it doesn't mean they don't have the talent.
Yeah. There's just a lot of people that have the talent. They don't.
Yeah.
So did you start when you started? Were you just like, oh, I'm pretty funny. I kind of want to go after this, or people laugh at me. I want to go after this. And like when you get up on stage, was the confidence kind of already there, or did you have to build that up?
I mean, I still don't have the confidence now. I just keep going.
You just don't shut up. Is that
That's pretty much what it is. Eventually, something's gonna come out funny.
you seem pretty sure of yourself on stage. You know what you're doing.
Well, I've been doing it for a while now, so it wasn't initially like that. I mean, believe every comic that you see on stage, we still get nervous until you get on stage.
Well, I've heard that
That's
if
it,
you
yeah.
ever lose that nervous energy before, then you're probably time to hang it up.
Yeah.
Like you want to have a little bit of
That touch of anxiety,
you
right?
need
before
to have a
go.
little bit of uncomfortable anxiety, because that's what's going to keep you on edge, keep you sharp. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people get up and be real relaxed and stuff like that. But even those people will admit that, like, you get that anxiousness, before going on stage.
I think the people that don't get nervous someone because either they're not focusing on the craft. You're not trying to craft it, if that makes sense. I think that in my jokes, I'd like to do callbacks and things, these technical things where I'm talking about stuff I may have talked about, and that's with comics. They come out, oh man, they watch it. So I do some of it for the back of the room, which they used to call it, which is pretty much most of the comics are sitting in the back, and then I do for the audience too, because I understand these people are coming out for a good time. But then also, it's a portion of it is the subject matter and stuff is just kind of for myself. So I'll give a little bit of both in there, and I think the nervousness is when, for me anyway, when I get nervous is if I haven't fully had a moment to just sit down with it. But a lot of times Tara will be with me and she'll tell me, oh, that's when you do your best work, when you're not thinking about it. So I think it's the lack of preparation for me of at least sitting down for at least 10 minutes because I'm always doing something else.
Collect your thoughts.
Yeah, to collect your thoughts.
Well, I know with the shows that we do, these are your shows, so you're kind of responsible. You're running the show and you're performing.
Yeah.
So that can be hectic.
So this was this reason of enjoying the space that you guys have with the stage and the lights and have everything set up so nicely. It frees up some of the responsibility of the setup to try to. A lot of what you'll see here is like you see me crafting and changing material. This is building space for me, and so I bring all the other comics in to ensure that we have an amazing show. I know what I'm going to give is going to be great. It'll be good. You're going to laugh, but I'm not. In this moment, I'm not attempting to carry the show.
Right.
I want to bring my friends in so they can carry, they have a good night, and then it'll also give me a space to work out some of these things that I work out, and then eventually I'll come back and once I've got all the pieces moved around, because I'll go other places and I move stuff around, and I'll bring it all back so every kind of see like this is the full painting here. I guess.
You've got some really good friends in comedy. The name of the show is Comedian Ray Money and Friends. Yeah. And it's true. You've got some. They've been very gracious because they've come. We've struggled to get a full house in here. It's weird because the first 2 months we did it, we had a bunch of people in here.
Yeah.
And then after February, it just kind of dropped off, and we've had smaller crowds. And they've all been funny shows, but your friends have all been gracious. They've all been super. Every single one of them thanks me for having them, which
Absolutely.
is that's nice. Mm-hmm. And
I make sure I tell them to tell you that every time. No, man.
Tyrone was like, Ray said not to make fun of the venue, but Ray's protective of everyone. And I told Ray, I was like, don't tell people not to make fun of the venue. That's going to make them want to do it more.
Right.
Look, this is the thing. Because they're comics.
Yeah.
What I tell them, I'm like, jokes are cool, jokes, but I think some of the part about a space, some of the things that you can say can make the way people look differently on it, and they may not. So I'm like, look, make jokes, man, but don't make it feel like where people don't want to come back.
For me, I think it's real simple with what we're trying, what you and I both are trying to say right now. When you're making jokes about something sensitive to somebody, if it's coming from a place of love, totally acceptable. But if you're just being a dick, if you're just being an asshole, that shit's not funny.
So those comics, they're in comics at different times. Comics can be assholes at different times.
Yeah.
So
I get it. Like
that's a blanketed message I send to all comics. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
It's that line. Like you can just the inflection of your tone can go one way. You're like it sounds like you're completely just trashing it.
And everyone that's performed here, I mean, there's been a couple of guys that have come in and made a couple of shitty jokes, but most everybody that's been here has come from that place of love, and they all understand that we're trying to build something here. Yeah. Like you don't take a gig in Gastonia, North Carolina, and expect it to be the Comedy Zone in New York City, or the.
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. I do, because I'm going to these places and they're bringing me to these places to do the same thing. So I have the thought process, and you say I'm positive. I have a beacon of positivity because. You have to be in this game, man. This shit takes a long time.
It wears on your feelings and emotions.
Emotions, man. You're away from your family a lot of times. You're on the road sometimes by yourself. If you're doing it where to the point where you can build it, if you're blessed enough to be able to build a team, great. But a lot of years you by yourself. So you have to have that positivity.
You jerk off in a hotel so many times.
Oh my goodness, a lot of sticky places. Sometimes, look.
And he said sticky places.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes they sticky before you get there.
That Laquita in Durham, man.
Oh man.
You been there too?
It's because the black light specials.
What it is. The soap already open? No,
Oh my God.
Well, Ray, I want to thank you for coming on and doing the show today. I really appreciate you, man. Ray and I met right before we opened this place, and we talked it'll be a year next month that we've known each other, and we talked about all of this stuff about building something here, and then we're going to keep at it and keep trying to make these things bigger and bigger, because eventually Gastonia will catch up and see like what's happening here is pretty special. Yeah. So this is an invitation to come on the fourth Thursday of every month to the Rooster for comedian Ray Money and Friends stand-up comedy. It's only $20 in advance. It's $25 at the door. It's this month. It'll be the 26th. It's going to be a good time. It always is. And we got great drink specials. We got a little bit of food to munch on.
Man,
it's a great date. So you can,
It's my birthday month, man. We're gonna
you're an October baby.
I'm an October baby, man. I'm a
I
Scorpio.
want to get a birthday cake and all that.
Man, we're going to have the best time ever.
Okay.
When I tell you, I don't even know who I'm going to book yet. I've got the person, look, I've got a few people, people's schedules change and stuff like that, so I try to give them time to make because they're coming to do us a favor here. There's no way we can afford these guys.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, hey, they're doing us a favor.
Man, they come through and show love, man. And I think that comes over the years. I've shown love to people over the years. I've done free shows here and there and stuff over the years for comics that are doing what I'm doing, and I've attempted to do what we're doing here as well. That's what it is: brotherhood, sisterhood, a community of helping each other. And I don't forget when people support. So
yeah,
I try to.
Yeah, we have long memories in this business. We have long memories.
People don't. I do. So
well, yeah, when you're all in like you and I are on the thing that we're doing, it's not easy to forget stuff. So, but we'll end on a high note, and we'll just say this month, the 26th, Thursday, come to Comedian Ray Money and Friends. We're going to have a blast. We're going to celebrate Ray's birthday. What are you turning, 32?
Just roll
we're
with
gonna
it.
go. We're gonna go with that, man. No, y'all come out for my 23rd birthday.
Ray's turning 18 on.
Hey, wait a minute.
None of this math adds up.
None of us were there when it happened, so we don't know when it.
And shout out to all the comedians that's performed here at the Rooster. We really appreciate you. We know you're doing us a favor. Don't be afraid to come back.
Please.
All right, peace and love.